it's going to be a cold stretch over the next several days.
Yeah, you've been warning us about this for a little while now.
And there's a couple things to watch for, not only for the very cold air moving into place for Friday night and for the upcoming weekend, but the potential, maybe, of another significant snow event at the start of next week.
You don't say.
Yeah, so here's what's going on. Here's a little bit of an outlook over the overall situation because this one's a little bit complicated. It starts with a low-pressure system in Texas. You probably heard a lot about news right now about them bracing in the southern U.S. for a significant winter storm, including some heavy snow as well as some freezing rain. That's because the polar air that has broken down over the continent has plunged far to the south, further south than it typically does. And this low moving out of Texas is going to bring moisture off of the Gulf of Mexico and up into that colder air. Now, as that low makes its way across the southern U.S., it triggers the development of a second storm system. This son of a more of a typical nor'easter system beginning around the coastline of North Carolina. That's the one that we're concerned about because it is expected at the end of the weekend into the start of next week to move north past Cape Cod. And then depending on how close it gets to the Maritimes, before it moves off towards the North Atlantic, we could be looking at picking up some significant snow from it. Just a closer look at how that weather system is expected to play out. So just illustrating here the potential for heavy snow, which is showing up through the grays and the whites, through parts of the southern U.S. into the U.S. Midwest, and then up towards the New England area, and then in through the pink colors, that's a potential for some significant freezing rain. And look at the extent of the watches and warnings they've issued in the U.S. from this storm system. Winter storm watches and warnings extending from Texas all the way up through the southern U.S. and all the way up towards the New England area. Let's pick up with that weather system after it exits the coastline of North Carolina. This would be the nor'easter part of the weather system. Moves north of Cape Cod, and then you can see here the potential for some significant snow for the Maritimes beginning late Sunday night and extending through Monday. Now, the potential right now is highest for Nova Scotia, parts of the south of New Brunswick, eastern areas of Prince Edward Island. What do I mean by significant snow? Maybe some snowfall amounts that could be 15 centimeters or more. So this is a period of time you're going to need to keep tabs on in your forecast as we move through the end of this week and the upcoming weekend. That'd be Sunday night. And for Monday, there's still some uncertainty with that weather system. You'll get a better idea of how much snow to expect in the region on the weekend because that's when the weather will be better and more data feeding into the forecast models from that weather system. Now, for tonight around the Maritimes, partly cloudy conditions and scattered flurries. Temperatures for those areas that were above freezing returning below freezing, so be careful about icy spots developing. Tomorrow, a blustery day with a mix of sun and cloud and scattered flurries around the Maritimes as the polar front moves through. Taking a look at winds in the forecast then, for tomorrow, winds will be west and northwest with gusts increasing to 30 to 50 kilometers per hour for the afternoon. There are gustier conditions in the forecast moving through Friday night and into Saturday. Also, temperatures for the region tonight will be falling a few to several degrees below the freezing mark. Some of the north of New Brunswick between -10 and -13, and therefore tomorrow, high temperatures between -5 and -8. Central and southern areas of New Brunswick tomorrow with high temperatures between -3 and -5, and in Prince Edward Island on Friday, the high temperatures between -2 and -4. In eastern areas of Nova Scotia for tomorrow, the high temperatures mostly in the range of around -2 to +1, and for northern and central parts of the province, most of the high temperatures between -3 and 0, +1 at Chester and Lunenburg. The Annapolis Valley tomorrow with highs of around -3. And on the south shore of Nova Scotia, high temperatures between -1 and +1. So frigid temperatures through the weekend for the Maritimes. Watching in New Brunswick for the potential for that snow Sunday night and through the day on Monday. It's followed by a mix of sun and cloud. That colder air still in place throughout much of next week. There'll be a chance of flurries on Wednesday. For Nova Scotia in the forecast, the very cold air moves in Friday night, and then it's around for the weekend. Flurries with a risk of snow squalls this weekend. The risk of snow squalls highest where that wind is coming in onshore off of ocean waters. The potential for that Sunday night, Monday snow, and then a chance of flurries follows for Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. And for Prince Edward Island, very cold into and through the upcoming weekend. The potential snowfall Sunday night and Monday. It's followed by a chance of flurries on Tuesday. Colder temperatures extend into Wednesday and Thursday.